Johnny here from Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, back from inside of my Bronco to talk more about the Maverick. Yeah, weird mix, but it's pretty important to me because a lot of people are either saying that, maybe they don't like the Maverick because it doesn't have a V6, or that they think that it makes a big difference that the Santa Cruz is a little bit faster. Now, I don't know if that's actually right. So the very first drive review has come out before it's really allowed to come out, and that doesn't matter. But what does matter is that I think people are getting the wrong impression. I think the important thing to keep in mind is that with a truck, whether you get 7 seconds, which is actually what Hyundai Santa Cruz claims, they're saying 7 seconds. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's Motor Trend that clocked it in at 6.5. And that boils down to people not doing their tests in the same manner. Now, same story for the Ford Maverick. You've got Ford saying that earlier on, they're talking way earlier on. I believe they were talking about, low 7 seconds, and it's actually come in at 6.9. So Ford's talking about 6.9 seconds, 0 to 60 time. And we've got, an actual owner getting consistent, basically 6.5, 6.6. At the end of the day, whether one is 0.1 or 0.4, 0.5 seconds faster, that doesn't matter. What does matter is that the first review, which is going to heavily influence a lot of people, and they might miss out on a very fuel efficient truck, it's going to heavily influence people because they're going to think that if it only has just enough power when you're not towing, well, then the 2-liter must not have enough power when towing. And then the assumption can be made that the hybrid isn't good at towing at all. Now, I've towed with a 2-liter on an Escape, and I have friends that did it actually very often, and the only thing I can say is that it's darn good. And that was on an Escape and Maverick, both weighing about 3,700 pounds. It was very good, except I'd say on a boat ramp with a 2-liter turbo front wheel drive, well, you can have a bit of traction issues because you've got so much weight in the back and you've got all the power on the front. If you're on an angle, those front wheels aren't getting as much traction. So if you're thinking of owning a boat, or if you own a boat, I highly recommend the all-wheel drive. And anyways, all-wheel drive Mavericks are the only ones that can have 4K towing. Now, I'm pretty passionate about the Maverick because I think it is a reasonably sized truck at a price that leaves money left over for families to actually enjoy family time. Enroll the kids in the sports, the soccer, get to do some of the stuff that we don't all get to do growing up. So I think the reasonably sized truck is such an important segment. And I really do hope that we're going to see all sorts of manufacturers making reasonably sized trucks at very reasonable prices. But I want the Maverick in particular to be of success because it is actually thousands of dollars less. It's a very, very reasonably sized truck. I think if we look at it with inflation and whatnot versus equipment, I think it's actually cheaper, less expensive than a late 90s Ford Ranger. So I think that we've got something pretty special. I'm really hoping that the reasonably sized truck segment really does take off. It pollutes less. It's better for the family budget. And I'm just, I'm a little disappointed, you could say, that the first review could lead people to believe that, the 2-liter EcoBoost doesn't have enough power to tow, and that the conclusion, or really the assumption could be made that the hybrid won't be able to tow at all. And I think the hybrid will be able to tow 2,000 pounds. I think it's going to tow it pretty decently. And I think the EcoBoost is going to pull 2,000 pounds very easily and be just fine towing 4,000 pounds. So that's my 2 cents on it based on my driving experiences. And I really do think that the 2-liter EcoBoost, I've tried it in all sorts of vehicles, and I've also tried it in the Maverick. But I can say for now that in those other vehicles, it went very well. I'm saving my drive impressions for Tuesday morning, October 5th. So stay tuned. You'll get a whole lot more and a whole lot of, actual drive footage of how those two engines really do perform. Stay tuned. Now, in case you're wondering how this Bronco runs, drives, and feels, it is amazing from beginning to end. Look at this thing go. So I'm going to do a little washboard road for you to show you how good Ford suspensions are. So just in case you're wondering, what's the Maverick suspension going to be like? Well, I'll show you come Tuesday, but for now I can show you that Ford does make very good suspensions. This Bronco is the Badlands with Bilstein suspension. Those Bilstein shocks are absolutely amazing. They have been absorbing all sorts of bumps. This is actually a relatively decent road despite this washboard potholed road. This is actually pretty decent compared to some of the stuff that I've been doing, which I'll be sharing shortly in the near future. But what I can say is this thing turns on a dime, which is going to be awesome for off-road. I just got my wrap on the bottom of the vehicle to help protect it. I'm still waiting on my door bag, so if you're looking to get a Bronco or really any Maverick accessories, buy them ahead of time at your parts department, because they won't show up they might not show up within a week. So it's good to get those in advance, because I haven't been able to go off-road because I can't take these doors off, and I don't want to risk having scratches from beginning to end. So there'll be more Bronco content coming and more Maverick content coming. Please like and subscribe, and until then, I can give you a little bit of Bronco content and say that I've been loving the Bronco. Now, it definitely has enough presence to get other vehicles a little jelly and take up 4 parking spots to try to flex on you. So this Dodge is taking up 4 parking spots, if you can see from these photos, just to try to flex on this gorgeous Bronco. So that's what you can expect. You can also expect a whole lot of great drives with great views. This thing will take you everywhere, but I'm not sure about the stripes I got, if it fits the color of the truck. So let me know in the comments section. Maybe I shouldn't have striped this, but I definitely like the retro look. Just not sure if it's working with the blue. But more on the Bronco. Now, its acceleration on this 2.7 liter is absolutely incredible. I'm mostly hanging around the 2000 RPM mark, and I've been actually mostly driving in the city. We've been having a lot of fun, sightseeing, so there's been a few less Bronco videos, and I've been forced to focus on Maverick content. Sorry about that, y'all. But it is a lot of fun top down. The interior looks absolutely great. Now the hood, I did have some vibrations on the hood, but with a little adjustment at the dealership. Should have thought of it myself, but the stoppers needed adjustment, and now there's no vibration on the hood. So I've been sightseeing, seeing those Canadian geese. This thing will take you absolutely everywhere. It'll turn on a dime. So for off-roading, it is the boss. Now I love the Badlands because, and I love the automatic because of trail turn assist, and I love the stabilizer bar disconnect. Now, if you get a Sasquatch on other models, you will not have stabilizer bar disconnect, and you won't have signature LED lights. You'll have LED lights, but you won't have the circle that goes around them. You will on Sasquatch, though, get these incredible mags. Now, Marie and I both find that the tires that we have, our BF Goodrich KO2, are pretty boss. So this is what it looks like at night, and you're probably all wondering, miles per gallon or liters per 100 kilometers. I'm getting 13.8 liters per 100 kilometers. My engine is now officially broken in. So remember, 1,500 kilometers or 1,000 miles to break it in. And I've been doing that at an average speed of 48 kilometers. So that's pretty darn good for city driving. Now, we'll have more Bronco and Maverick content, but until then, I got to get back to fixing up this garage, working on the dream garage. So please like and subscribe to continue following the content and help us out. Have a great week.